Well, hey there, everybody. I'm back again. This time I'm doing the review off the hydrogen. So we're streaming directly to YouTube at this point, which, gotta fix those workflows at some point. And I keep on forgetting images are down there. Sensors. Anyway, so I'll learn to look in the lower left hand corner. That being said, welcome to Wednesday. So, not much going on today in the world. I mean, it's obviously very early in the morning. It's 2:25. Battery's at 5% hydrogen, so I will be testing probably this little guy tonight. Can't sleep. It's one of the things you do. Hoodie, it's cold in here. In any case, so a lot of noise has been made. Obviously, the reviews, Red Hydrogen. Been some great conversations on H4V User today. I want to give a little testimonial to Mark. A little call out to a guy named Mark who has started a company called Dark California. They're a clothier. Mark runs a clothier, and so it's going to be interesting. But Mark contacted me through Instagram and was asking me, "Hey, listen, I've read the reviews. I know, everybody's saying one thing or another, and tell me if it's true. Tell me what's good, what's bad, what's ugly, and what's different, And I can't tell you exactly how long the conversation took. I could look at my call log, but whatever. But it was a long enough conversation to get, to talk through what the hydrogen is, right? He's a Samsung user. That's great. I come from an older phone. Obviously, I have an iPhone. And this, I've used Android in the past, so a lot of that is conceptually the same. But going through it, one of the things I think articulating the value proposition of the red hydrogen is one of the most important things. And Jim said it tonight on H4V User, but it's not going to be for everybody. But it's a continual path. I mean, think of it this way: the hardware is done; it's baked. You're going to get what you're going to get. But a lot of what happens these days is done in software. It's not so much the hardware. Hardware is iterative. It's going to happen. You're going to get yearly or bi-yearly updates. You're going to get newer processors and whatever. But you can't change the hardware once it's fixed and once your design is done. So a lot of what happens and moves on from there is this iterative kind of process through, not iterative process, but this continual innovation cycle through software. Features that you can add. Jim talked about tonight. Going to be adding in raw image support. Additional updates. We just had a HoloPix update, version 1.2.9 drop tonight. Haven't put it on the phone yet, but we'll get there. So a lot of these things are kind of coming into being, but you have to understand from a roadmap perspective, what Apple has done is basically turned the hardware into the iteration and into the evolution, not the software. 12 to 12.1, you notice how majors are always launched with hardware, and the same thing isn't true with with Red. To a certain extent, yes, I get. 12.1 added 700 more emojis or something like that. I don't give a shit. There might be some color factoring that's done around that, or some computational stuff, especially around neural stuff that gets done in the phone. The point being that the major nature of what Apple does is break fix. It's not innovation. It's not adding big stuff at one point. Those are what major releases are for. And major releases, typical in the Apple ecosystem, are coupled to hardware releases, right? So the hardware becomes the point of iteration, becomes that. It's not to say Red won't innovate on the hardware side. I talked about pogo pins the other day. What you're going to be able to do with the 2D modules, with the additional modules that are coming down the road. That's all very, very important for the Red ecosystem, and that's going to require some application and some software development along with it. But what you can do in the interim while you have this hardware platform in hand, and you have the ability to cycle and improve and do that stuff, is you actually use the development. I've told people all along, this is probably the first, and I repeated this to Mark tonight, this is the first phone where I actually feel like the hardware is actually fully being developed, right? It's a brains of a camera system. It is the brain, it's the segmentation, how things go in lockstep. But if you adopt it now, you're not buying a fixed entity anymore. You're buying something that will continue to evolve, continue to improve, and again, urge you to read the forums. And Jim's response tonight was on point. I mean, I can't fault the founder, right? But that kind of stuff becomes hugely important to this cycle. So what you're looking at is you're looking at a fixed hardware design, right? The H1 is what the H1 is. It's not going to be any kind of, there's nothing else that's going to be done to it from a hardware perspective right now. But what you're looking at is that software, the Android base, the special sauce, if you will, within the camera system, the Holopix side, H4V side, all that kind of stuff can be pushed and can be continued to be developed. And there's a commitment to do that. And this is where, and explain to Mark, was like, this is the reason why this is cool. Everything I've been able to use over the last 2.5 months, 3 months, I was just doing the math today, it's like almost 3 months, has shown me that kind of software iteration, that software development cycle adds tremendously, night and day from where we started to where we are today. And with the promise of being able to shoot RAW, being able to do adjustments to DOF, bokeh or depth of field, the iPhone XS Max instead of XS Max, thanks to Dave English, wherever you are. There's some real promise in that platform. So, the argument always comes back down to economics. I can't make that decision for you. You got to figure it out for yourself. Don't buy beyond your means, but by all means, buy what makes you comfortable. And as we kind of work our way up to carry launch this Friday, it's going to be some tremendous opportunities. And the more the market gets to see this, the more people get to see this kind of stuff, the better it is. I do want to pull out one comment. It was made by a guy named CJ on the forums. And CJ, awesome. It was awesome to talk to you tonight or go back and forth. CJ called out Toya, Mark Toya, for the fake reaction type stuff. I mean, one of the things that I'm super cognizant of whenever we do marketing is the authenticity of response, right? Sure, you want to have a sizzle reel that's going to highlight the best stuff you do. The H4V sizzle reel that's provided that I've seen compiled is actually compiled with shots that a lot of us in the community have taken. It gets combined in there, soundtrack is soundtrack, whatever, and it's designed to highlight the facts and features, or the features and functions of the device. But one of the other things I think that people get a little bit concerned about is marketing for marketing's sake, right? That can't possibly be real. And so CJ, I appreciate the call out on what Mark had ultimately, Mark Toya had filmed there. But like I said in my post, everybody I've talked to, everybody I've shown this device to, one way or another. I mean, it's not just oh yeah, that's great, and walk away. There is a definitive pause. There's a definitive reaction, whether it be absolutely physical, like, whoa, that's pretty incredible, or if it's been, kind of, trying to figure things out. Yeah, it takes a little bit for your eyes to get used to. Don't get me wrong. It's not for everybody. But that kind of authentic response, that's one of the biggest judges that a product has its path set and is going down the right way. So, all that to be said, just want to close this out. I'm not going to talk for 25 minutes tonight, promise. Sorry, Greg. But I just wanted to provide this quick ass response. Sorry, this late in the evening, early in the morning response to some of this stuff, and just also convey my excitement about what's been going on. It's great to see new people involved. It's great to get new respondents. You are welcome. This is our home. It's all of our homes. We're here together. So please come in, pull up a chair, tell us your story, and good, bad, ugly, or indifferent. We're gonna listen and we're gonna work things through together. Just give it a chance. That's all I ask, and that's all Jim's asking for. And we'll grow stronger together. All right, guys. Have a great night, great day, depending on where you are in the world, and great evening if you're someplace where this is turning, I don't know, other side of the world. Talk to you later. Bye.